Howdy small group, how's everybody doing? I hope you're excited to jump into 2 Kings chapter 10. You may want to take a look at some of the passages from there just to review it. It's a great chapter. It's really a continuation of 2 Kings chapter 9. Our big idea is serving God for your own glory leads to loss. Serving God for His glory leads to victory. So in other words, you could try to do all kinds of things to serve God. You could try to do all kinds of the right things. But if your heart's not in the right place, you're going to get burned out. You're going to quit. You're going to get salty. You're going to deconstruct. You're going to have church hurt. You're going to have a lot of different things if you try to force doing the right things for the wrong reasons. Now, on the other side of this, if you begin to serve God because you love Him and you're grateful to Him, then it's going to lead to victory. It's going to lead to winning, and you'll be able to sustain your serving. I've been serving God since I was, 6 years old. I was involved in bus ministry. My brother was a children's director, and so I would ride the bus and we would pick up kids and all over the Arnold area. And then at the age of 11, I started playing the trumpet in church orchestra. Then started leading the youth band as a teenager, and then went away to college, continued to serve. I was in a band that toured the country and played rock music for Jesus. And then I became a worship minister, and then I moved to Florida, Indiana, back home to the Arnold area, and then we started the church. And I would just tell you, it's been 40 years really that I've been serving God, and I've got a lot of hurt and pain and struggle, and I got a lot of failures behind me, but God has been so good to me, and there have been so many victories as well. But I've learned a lot more from the failures and from the pain a lot of times than I've learned from the victories, because it's in those times of failures and pain that it's revealed to me, why am I really serving? Why am I really doing this? Am I doing this for the right reasons? Do I have the right motivations? Or am I doing this for some kind of a false reason? Or am I doing it for my glory? Am I doing it for popularity or for advancement? Or am I, quite honestly, am I doing it because my parents are making me do it? So right now you've got the opportunity to share a time when you did the right things for the wrong reasons. And then what was the outcome and how did you feel about it afterward? Well, the easy one for me is Saturday morning, my dad was getting me up out of bed for chores. I couldn't tell you how excited I was when I went away to college, and that first Saturday morning, I woke up at like 9 and no one woke me up for chores. But I remember every Saturday morning, it was chore time. And my dad used to say, son, I got a nickel's worth of work for you. And it was way more than nickel's worth. But I remember doing those chores. And the moment my dad would turn his back, I would try to sneak up the hill to my friend's house because I didn't like doing chores. I did chores. They were the right thing to do. I did them because my parents made me. And then sometimes I did them because they helped me with getting an allowance. So I served, but I served for the wrong motives. Well, what did that create in me? Well, it didn't create a great work ethic in me, but it did give me ideas of what it's like to be an adult one day. So there was a little bit of positive out of that. Another thing about doing the right things for the wrong motives. Do you ever notice, moms and dads, when your kids are extra nice to you and it seems a little sketchy? Well, a lot of times our kids are extra nice to us because they want something, or they want money, or they just broke something and they don't want to get punished for it. There are many times, we learn this in our own flesh, where we act sweet and we act kind and we act helpful because we want something from someone, whether that's mom and dad or a girlfriend or boyfriend or a friend or a teacher or a coach. Doing the right things for the wrong motives. Motives matter just as much as actions do. And we see that Jehu was the king, And he was being used by God to exterminate all of Ahab and Jezebel's family. So both the king of Israel and the king of Judah, they were toast. The extended family was all toast. And he destroyed all these Baal worshipers. Really an incredible story of how God used him to do that. But then at the end of the story, it talks about how he participated and led the nation in worshiping the golden calves. So really, to worship the golden calves meant to worship earthly prosperity. And so Jehu was a guy that he wasn't putting up with the sexual immorality and all the gender stuff, but he was still wanting to incorporate the worship of human prosperity. So Jehu did some good things, and at the end, it turns out that some of his motives weren't as pure as we thought. I mean, even in the story where he says, "Come see my zeal for the Lord," he was bragging about how zealous he was for the Lord, and then later on allowing these golden calves and leading the nation to have these golden calves would eventually lead Israel to continue to disintegrate. So what are some things that jumped out to you the most? You'll have some opportunity to talk more about that. And one of the verses that really grabs my heart that I hope you'll have time to read is 1 Samuel 16:7, when Samuel is anointing King David. It talks a lot about the heart. The message stated, anytime we start to think God needs us or that we are something special, it should be a warning flag about the true condition of our heart. Have you ever felt like that when you're serving God, or where you are holding a position as a leader in some way, shape, or form, that you think God needs you? The truth is, God doesn't need you. He wants you. I compare this to possibly a little child and a father. And that father, as he is rolling the wall and he's painting a wall, maybe he lets his son hold a little paintbrush. And is that son really covering it? Is he hitting the right patterns? No, the father is. The father is covering the whole wall. But he lets his son hold the paintbrush because he loves the time where he can spend with his son. And his son enjoys the time he can spend with his dad, and he feels like he's helping out. God is that way with us. He really doesn't need us, but he wants us to be with him. And the most important thing that we can do, even more than any of our serving and our contributions, is to draw near to him and to get close to him. Then to take a little bit of time reflecting on the truth of Psalm 86:11 and how God can unite our heart. I hope you really enjoy this time as you dig in, and even as you get into your own personal life and you ask the question, what are some things where I'm doing the right things for the wrong reasons? Or do I have some impure motives at work? Do I have some impure motives in my marriage? Do I have some impure motives in my education? And really begin to search your heart, because God does not want you to have a divided heart. He wants you to be unified as you run toward him. Well, small group, I hope you guys have an amazing time discussing this, sharing your stories about doing right things for wrong reasons, and I hope you can truly be an encouragement to each other. Also want to encourage you guys, this is crunch time. Easter is coming up. We've got Good Friday online services. We've got 2 Saturday services, 3:30 and 5, and then we've got our Sunday services. Who are you going to invite? Do you have, every small group member, do you have at least one person that you want to invite? And then also think about your small group. There might be someone that you might invite to your small group even next week after Easter. When people come to church on Easter Sunday, I am going to encourage them to 2 things. Very simple. I want them to receive the good news of Jesus into their life, and I want them to come back the next week. And so be thinking about that. We're not going to ask for all of these details for people to do. We're going to keep it so simple on Easter. We want people to know the good news of Jesus, and then we want them to come back. And I hope and I pray that some of those guests that come on Easter will show up at your small group next week. Love you guys. Enjoy your group.